Let's get the ground running quickly this morning, talking about the National Sports Festival taking place in Ogun State right about now. The Gateway Games have been so much beautiful to watch every single time. Let's bring you some image from the National Sports Festival. Our very own Atuloko Oguntimei is right on ground there to also give us activities that is happening. But for now, let's quickly watch the opening ceremony and some of the activities that went down so far at the National Sports Festival in Ogun State.
It was an opening ceremony like no other, a vibrant celebration of culture, rhythm and national pride. From the majestic Eyo cultural display to the thrilling masquerade parade, every moment was a spectacle. The atmosphere soared as renowned artist Asha delivered a soul-stirring rendition of the national anthem, setting the tone for an unforgettable day. The explicit dance group electrified the stage with their signature charisma, blending traditional choreography with calisthenics in a dazzling fusion of movement and meaning. Attendees were treated to a colorful showcase of cultural attire, reminiscent of the grandeur of the Ojude Oba festival, a true feast for the eyes. Crowning the event were powerful speeches, including a heartfelt message from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, delivered by Vice President Kashim Shettima, underscoring the importance of culture, unity, and national identity.
There is a pulse that beats through every nation, a rhythm that binds the dreams of the young with the hopes of the world, and bridges the barriers of tongue, creed, and culture. That pulse is sports. Sports is more than a contest of physical strength. It is the soul of our togetherness, the music of our shared ambitions, and a mirror that reflects the possibilities of a truly united nation. That is why here in Nigeria, we have made sports a culture, not merely an event, but a way of life. Sports to us is a tool for national integration, a rallying ground for patriotism, and a workshop for shaping, not just the body, but also the mind and the spirit of our people. Today, with pride and purpose, we practice this national belief. The reorganization of the administration of sports under this administration into a stand-alone National Sports Commission reflects the seriousness with which this sector is regarded by the present dispensation. We have chosen to shield it from bureaucratic interferences and the distractions of vested power interests. We want it to thrive, autonomous, innovative, and focused, because we recognize its critical place in building a healthier, stronger, and more united Nigeria. And the 22nd National Sports Festival is both a celebration and a continuation of that excellence. This festival is not just about competition. It is a tribute to our unrelenting commitment to preserving the spirit of sponsorship, to investing materially and emotionally in a practice that defines us as a people. The games may be hosted here in Ogun State, but the excitement reverberates across the Federation. It is proof that sports remains one of the most powerful forces for national cohesion. Indeed, nothing has brought this nation together like sports, whether on the pitch, the court, or the track. We are reminded daily that we are not strangers to one another. We are compatriots, drawn from different roots, but drinking from the same well of national pride. Sports, in its silent eloquence, tell us what every constitution tries to say, that we are one people, united in purpose and bound by destiny.
The governor of Ogun State delivered a thunderous speech that echoed through the stadium, igniting passion and pride in every corner. With powerful words and clear vision, he offered a compelling glimpse into why Ogun State is fast imagined as a rising hub for sports development in Nigeria.
Sports teaches you character. It teaches you to play by the rules. It teaches you know what it feels like to win and also to lose. It teaches you about life. In line with the vision, we have used this opportunity to upgrade and construct lasting sporting infrastructure, including this world-class facility. And for the first time in the history of National Sports Festival, we are camping our over 10,000 athletes and officials in an Olympic-style games village in comfort. This infrastructural transformation is a pathway to developing our own sports economy. Let us all celebrate the beauty of our host environment. Towering above Abeokuta, our Olumo Rock Tourist Complex, and please take time to enjoy some of our very, very rich culture and heritage sites. Dear athletes, I urge you to compete with integrity and honor. Sports should be a reflection of our highest values of fairness, respect, and perseverance. The most important thing in the Olympics, they say, is not to win, but to take part. Just as the most important thing in life is not the triumph, but the struggle. Let these words inspire us throughout this festival. Our national development depends on peaceful coexistence, and sports remains one of the most powerful platforms for fostering national unity. I assure you that the Ogun State government, in collaboration with national security agencies, has deployed a robust security framework to ensure a safe, peaceful, and enjoyable event for all. As we mark this turning point in Nigerian sporting history, I assure you that the next 10 days will dazzle us with unimaginable talent, remarkable performances, record-bearing feats, passionate displays, and the true spirit of sportsmanship. Therefore, I call on all of us, and I express my profound gratitude to my President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, my fellow governors, National and State Assembly members, captains of industry, the National Sports Commission Chairman and DG, the main organizing committee, the local organizing committee, and all other contributors who have supported us in making this 22nd National Sports Festival Gateway Games a reality. Let the games begin. Let excellence thrive, and let Nigeria shine. Once again, I welcome you all to Abeokuta, the state's capital. I urge you to fully explore the delights of the Gateway State while you are here.
Now, the Chairman Director General of National Sports Commission reaffirmed the federal government's unwavering commitment to youth empowerment and the transformative power of sport, not just as a tool for development, but as a unifying force across the nation.
And programs to ensure targeted, impactful reforms. We launched Nigerian sport with a renewed narrative, one of which of unity, pride, and economic relevance. Our strategic objectives are clear: institutional repositioning, private sector engagement, grassroots development anchored on school sports, and sports federation reforms for ultimate delivery. The expected outcomes are job creation, indirect, direct, and induced jobs. Economic contribution targeting at least 3% of the GDP in a very soon. At least control 5% of global exports of the sports market. Sports is indeed our #1 unifier and breaks all our fault lines. This is a veritable tool for national cohesion and enhanced security. Indeed, the National Sports Festival clearly aligns and speaks to the foregoing reforms framework and objectives. Therefore, the National Sports Commission is doing all that is required in collaboration with all stakeholders to upscale, to ensure that the organization of the best games ever that we are trying.
Breaking news. Invited junior athletes have won their first 2 gold medals. We told you guys, come inside and have some fun. Davido, Asha, so much fun awaiting you. Thank you.
The Commissioner for Youth and Sports in Enugu State, proud host of the next edition of the festival, took the stage with infectious energy, offering a thrilling preview of what lies ahead. With bold promises and a hint of spectacle, it is a festival that will raise the bar, celebrating talent, culture, and unity on an even grander scale.
As far as seeing what is being done here today and preparation for hosting the National Sports Festival, the 23rd edition in Enugu, I believe we will perform even better than what we're seeing here today. They've done a great job. OGUN State have done a fantastic job. This opening ceremony is beautiful. Organization has been amazing. The Games Village is fantastic. All our athletes have been very well accommodated. Our officials have been well accommodated. But I believe the aim for us is to outdo this and to present a world-class event aiming at Olympic standards. And Enugu State, if you know anything about Dr. Peter Ndubisimba, you know that he's a man of excellence and wants nothing but the best. So we're going for that. And you can expect an excellent National Sports Festival in Enugu State.
Other key stakeholders praised the seamless organization of the event and lauded the impressive media coverage it continues to generate, highlighting its growing impact and visibility on the national stage.
From the point of a journalist, I must say that they are magicians. When I say so, because I stay here, I'm based here, but I was here last in January, and as of January, I can say that there was no sign that anything would happen. But coming here, like on Thursday, I must say that they actually transformed everything in the space of like 5 months. That's why I said I call them magicians.
But I have no doubt that, especially the OGUN State team, that they'll put up a good fight. So I'm here to give moral support as well, and also in my own capacity to ensure that the players that do well are much recognized and rewarded as well. So I'm not playing. There are a lot of really good players in Nigeria that I'm sure they will give a good fight, right? And as always, I'll be rooting for the underdogs, right? I'm sure that people will expect to win, but I'm rooting for all those undiscovered talents that are going to use this platform to show us what they're truly made of.
First and foremost, I think I will want to say that what we are seeing so far so good is more or less a repeat of the gateway games that was held here in time past, and I want to say there seems to be more of an improvement in it. You can see the large crowd, you can see the arrangement, you can see the organizations. I think I give it to them. They have done pretty well. But of course, there's still room for improvement, because in clear terms, if you look at the arrangement, I think in the area of the media, they need to up their games, because that is my constituency. They need to up their games. The things that needed to be done, you see, because sport is a media event. So if at the end of the day, the media who are reporting the event are not well taken care of, then you are not likely going to get the actual result that is expected. Yes,
Oyo State, we are always excelling in Oyo State. Last festival we came fourth all over Nigeria. So I'm optimistic that all my athletes, they will perform excellently and they will come out with gold medals by the grace of God.
The opening ceremony soared to new height as superstar Davido brought the night to a thrilling close, performing one of his chart-topping hits.
Colorful opening ceremony for the Gateway Games 2025. Ogun State hosting some of the best athletes in the country and definitely giving the country spectacle to watch upon in the opening ceremony. Well, the game started off also yesterday and also action continued today. Joining us right from the state where the games are hosted right about now, talking about Atulokwe Ogunsimei right there. The Gateway Games 2025 also will be giving us in-depth analysis of what's happening there right about now. Good morning to you, Tolu.
A wonderful morning to you, Solomon. So good to link up with you this morning, all the way from Abeokuta.
So how is the atmosphere there? How is everybody there? I think they have been praising the infrastructure put up for this particular one, especially the Games Village. So how has it been there so far?
It's been quite interesting looking at events unraveling. Medals already started rolling in, though we couldn't only get the correct medal table at this point in time, because the medal table they sent to us is a little bit sketchy, not properly defined. But medals have started rolling in. The invited junior athletes have won a couple of medals, and also Delta State also won a couple of medals. Edo State is also not left behind. Lagos State is also has also won a couple of medals. On the medal table they sent to us, Lagos State is topping. But we also notice that there's some disparity in the tabulation of those. So we are still waiting for the final confirmation of the medal table as of right now. But medals are already rolling in. The handball event will be kicking off today, and also tennis is expected to start tomorrow. Not forgetting swimming. You know, the sports are divided into different zones. In Abeokuta, we have handball, we have tennis, we have swimming, we have that, and a couple of other sports right there. And also in Jebode, in Ikene, we have football event and also a couple of other sports right there. Athletics will also be right here in Abeokuta. Then and not far from Jebode, we also have a sporting event also going on in so many parts of that place right now. And I think all these things are all over the place, making us have a feel of the entire Ogun State right there. So whichever one you want to cover, you move from one part of the city to another to enjoy the beauty of Ogun State and also enjoy the sporting activities.
We're still talking about some of the activities going there, especially putting together this particular one. I think it came impromptu for Ogun State, and they've been able to put together beautiful facilities. So far, so good. From what you've seen there so far in the tournament, how are you going to judge the putting together of facilities ahead of this game, and also in the usage of the tournament right about now? How do you see the facilities generally helping Nigerian sports?
I think Ogun State is benefiting an age-long history of investing in sports. Not forgetting during the time when Gadane was the governor of the state, he built so many sporting facilities in Ogun State. Not forgetting they've hosted this championship, the festival before in 2006. And besides that, they've also been part of when Nigeria hosted the under 20 championship right there. So they've always been investing in sport. So this is also a testament to the history, to the pedigree of the state. And when it comes to this particular festival, they've also been able to renovate some of their sporting edifices. And also, the most important thing is that they've been able to bring it to international standard. We'll talk about the Abeokuta Stadium right here. Initially, so those who were here in January, nobody could have thought that Ogun State will put up this kind of incredible edifice right here. But lo and behold, coming here this time around, it's a totally different thing entirely. It's like the eighth wonder of the world. The way Amana be able to ensure that the facilities is up to par with anyone you can see in any part of the world. And I think it's also an opportunity when you put into consideration Nigeria has a huge population that falls within the youth range, and sport offers an avenue for them to be able to use their innate energy and talent right there. And I think Ogun State is also setting the benchmark right there. In the past, the South has also been one of the areas that we invested so much in sport. The Delta State, Akwa Ibom State, Bayelsa of recent has also improved when it comes to sporting facilities. Now Ogun State is gradually become the hub of sporting activities. Not forgetting the fact that after the National Sports Festival, they are hosting the Under 18 and Under 20 Athletics Championship. They will be hosting the Super Falcons match right there. they're also hosting the WAPU Under 17 Championship. So this all boils down to the facilities at their disposal. And they are not just lying down by building these facilities, they are bringing international competition to this thing, which will put the facility into top use. One of the problems we've had in the past is when you build facilities of this nature, you don't tend to put them into good use. At the end of the day, the facilities will rot away. And I think the Ogun State is having a departure from that by putting those facilities into good use, by hosting international competitions, bringing those countries outside. And also, one part that we've not really been able to talk about is the business opportunities that is also opening through that. I'm right now at the Abeokuta Stadium. You need to see the level of business that is going on. People beating kiosks, making money, making brisk money. For the next 10 days, people will be able to take care of their responsibilities. The business will thrive in this atmosphere. People selling different kind of merchandise are benefiting from hosting a championship of this magnitude. Because we are talking about 10,000 athletes congregating in one particular place. There's no better way to make money, to make brisk money than now. And I think Ogun State has also realized that. So they are not stopping with this one. They are hosting under international championship. So more business opportunity for the low-class family to make quick money, to take care of their responsibility during this time frame. And they want to continue doing that. And I think it's important that we take a cue from that. States also realize that sport is an avenue to invest, to develop, to get involved with the grassroots and to help the grassroots people in doing well. Because there is no better way for government to get across to the grassroots than through sports.
Looking at sporting activity on OGUN, we know the private definitely, some of them will come in as sponsors, but so far so good. What you have seen, how far the private sector actually helped in making sure that this event goes down well?
I think Ogun State has already set the benchmark, Solomon, when it comes to that. The way and manner they started the opening ceremony has given us an inkling into what we should expect. But not only that, a couple of people have spoken to the commissioner, the major stakeholders when it comes to sport, have talked exceedingly well about the facilities. For the first time, people are not talking about the accommodation issue. People are not talking about the challenge of getting food, athletes feeding arrangement. Nobody is talking about that. We've been to festivals where people are talking about the accommodation arrangement, where people are talking about the feeding arrangement. But there is a total departure from that, which also shows even if we say don't end up winning this festival, they've scored a huge point in terms of manner of organization, in terms of facilities being provided, and to really help the people. And I think that's a major statement right there. I spoke with the Commissioner of Sports, Enugu State, and he talked about the fact that Enugu State has raised the bar. They will be the next host of the National Sports Festival. But they also realize that what they saw at the opening ceremony, they want to do better than what Ogun State is doing. And it's going to take a lot for them to do better than that. They need to invest. They need to do so much. They also must realize that sports offer an incentive to the young people. Sports provides the opportunity for the business environment to thrive. They must also look at the sport just being a recreational event. They must look at it from the business perspective. And if they can take a cue from that, that will give them an inkling. You can imagine the number of sponsors that have also been able to come in to partner with the Ogun State government in making this a worthwhile event. So there are so many business opportunities, there are so many things that are available if they can just key into it. And I think it's important for them to realize that.
All right, and we've seen some of the event go down so far in the National Sports Festival Gateway Games 2025. How are you going to grade the officiating for the opening few events that have gone down, some in handball, some in weightlifting? We also heard some reports saying that some athletes had been expelled from the camp due to doping on different grounds, I think mostly for kickboxing and wrestling. The officiating of the tournament, the entirety, the framework where the National Sports Commission have actually put together to make sure we have something like this. Are you going to grade it for the opening stages of the games?
There was a meeting of the LOC yesterday because I think some issues crop up that they need to address. And it was after the meeting they came out with the fact that some athletes that have tested positive to banned substance will not be allowed. And one painful one is the Ogun that girl, the boxer, who did very well at the National Sports Festival and also at the All African Games. Unfortunately, they tested positive, and she's also been ruled out of this festival. I really feel bad for her, but it's also a lesson for so many athletes right there that if you're a sports person, you can't take anything for granted. We've had in the past where an athlete has taken Zobo and it contains a substance that is not allowed by the international body. So this is also a lesson. The coaches that are putting them into their rudiment must also be careful. Officiating wise, it has been quite credible. We have not really experienced any officiating issues right now. We don't know what will happen in the coming days, but I think the LOC is on top of it to ensure that athletes get the right judgment and they don't make mistakes. Boxing has always been one area that has raised issue when it comes to officiating, because a lot of decisions have come up when it comes to that. So many states does not agree with, and that's why they are coming up with international boxing mode or scoring points, and that's what is being used at this tournament, so that you won't feel cheated. If your points really land, there are equipment, computer equipment that can help you to score the right point, and they are also using that at this championship, so that the issue about poor officiating will not be a recurring issue right there. And one other thing I must also tell you, in weightlifting, we had a mother and daughter competing and the weightlifting event, and both of them won medal yesterday in weightlifting event of this National Sports Festival, which is really interesting right there. Talking about, I can't remember the name right now, but the mother and daughter, they are from Lagos State, or Olarinloye precisely, that's the name, the Olarinloyes. Both mother and daughter competed in weightlifting event, and they won medal for Lagos State yesterday, which is quite impressive the way I'm at the beginning. And so it's been interesting right there. Officiating wise, there's not be any issue right now. We don't know what will happen in the coming days, but as that area is concerned, that's covered for now.
One more question before we let you go, Tolu. So far so good. You've had a first-hand information and also foresight about what's happening right there in Ogun State. Is there any room for improvement? What you feel at the next edition, especially for Enugu, to watch out for in preparing for their own come the next few years when they'll be having the next National Sports Festival?
We must also not forget is the handling of the media event of this thing. There has not been proper syndication of media table. There has not been proper arrangement for the media, how they get information across, and so many things. We had at the last National Sports Festival in Delta State, there's proper arrangement for media, where they will stay, how they will get information, and I think that's one area they need to work on to get better. And for Enugu State, I think they will be taking a cue from some of these things. How do we ensure that the proper media, because for sports, thrives on media coverage. The massive media publicity you have for sport makes it easy for the private sector to key in, because every private business wants to make money and it wants their brand to be seen out there. So if you want to get it done, you must also be able to ensure that the right information is passed across. And I think media management can be need to be worked on, and that Enugu State will be taking a cue from that. Organization-wise, I think Enugu State has done well, but it can be better. So Enugu State will also be looking at how do we surpass what Ogun State has done so far when it comes to organization, accommodation, all those little logistics. They want to work on it.
Yeah, on to the end of the event. Thank you very much for joining Tolu Oguntime all the way from Ogun State.
Thank you so much.